Hey yogis, a few years ago, I was in my late 40s and feeling sort of just not terrible, but just like I was feeling less energy. I wasn't sleeping as well. I had gained a little bit of weight and my skin wasn't as clear. My hair wasn't as shiny. Just nothing felt quite right. And I just started to do what most people do, and that was chalk it up to old age. I'm just getting old. Just accept it and move on. Well, the truth is we don't need to accept that. With the right nutrients in our body and the right cleansing for our body, we can feel much, much better at any age. So a friend of mine turned me on to this amazing, simple drink that I have every single morning now. And I like it because it's easy to do. I can ritualize it. I can make it just part of my morning. I have it right after I practice yoga and meditation every morning. And it just sets the tone for the whole day. It just flushes everything through. So what I'd like to do in this video is teach you how to make this amazing green drink. And hopefully you can give it a shot and see if it's something that will help you feel better in your day-to-day life. Now, before I get to that, as always, please like, subscribe, and share. That helps me reach new viewers, and it helps you get alerted when I release new content. So what are you going to need for this amazing magical drink? You're going to need a blender, and preferably a powerful blender like a Vitamix. There are other powerful blenders out there, but the one thing you need to know is the really inexpensive blenders probably won't cut it. So something, it doesn't have to be top of the line. Vitamix is pretty much the top of the line. It can be less expensive than a Vitamix, but it should be pretty powerful. Now, you can use a full-on juicer, and I know juice fanatics will be sending me hate mail because I'm teaching you how to do this sort of the lazy way. A juicer will get more nutrients from the greens and the vegetables we're going to be using, but they're also harder to clean. And for me, I have a juicer. I tend not to use it very much because it's so time consuming that I don't do it. And so for me, it was better to start using my blender, which is quick and easy, and forego just a teeny bit of the nutritional value so that I could be more consistent. Once you have your blender in hand, you're going to add 1 1/3 cups of clean, purified water. Just going to put that in the bin. You're going to add a piece of ginger and a piece of turmeric. And the turmeric you can substitute for powdered turmeric if you prefer. Now, why are we adding this? Both ginger and turmeric are amazing for your health. Turmeric reduces inflammation in the body in a big way. It can really help with a lot of just common issues that chronic inflammation cause in the body. It's in Ayurveda, it's one of the main things that are prescribed by Ayurvedic physicians. Another thing, the ginger is really going to help with digestion, and it's going to help you absorb more nutrients as well. So ginger and turmeric, start with a little, and then you can work your way up to more and more as you get used to this very pungent flavor. Next, you're going to need some leafy greens. And for this demo, I'm going to use spinach. And if you're new to juicing, spinach is a great place to start because it's not particularly bitter. So it's a little bit easier to drink. But some of the other greens pack a bigger nutritional punch, like kale. Kale is fantastic, but it's also quite difficult to drink for people who are not used to it. So I like to start with spinach and then work my way up to more potent greens. In a perfect world, I mix every day. I use a different leafy green, so I'm getting a variety of benefits from all of them. Next, you're going to need a cucumber and some celery. The cucumber, I use about 1/3 of a large cucumber, and I chop it up. It doesn't even have to be chopped too small, but I chop it up and I put it in the blender. Same with the celery. I usually use 2 or 3 ribs of celery, and I chop them into manageable pieces and put them in the blender as well. Once I've done all that, I put the lid on the blender, I turn it on medium for my Vitamix. Might need to be a little higher if you've got a lower end blender. And I run it for about 2 to 3 minutes. While I'm doing that, I'm getting the rest of my setup set to go. So I use a plastic straining pitcher, which makes it really easy to make the juice and to clean up after. But you can also use a strainer and any kind of a container to catch the juice in. I squeeze 1 lemon into the pitcher, and then I put the top on, and when the juice is done in the blender, you dump it in the top, and I give it a few minutes to drain through, eventually tamping it down so that I'm separating the juice with all of its nutrition from the pulp. Once I'm done with that, pour it in a glass, and I enjoy. Now, cleanup is super easy, especially if you have a higher end blender like the Vitamix. You barely need to put water in it, but if you need to deep clean it, you can put some water in with a few drops of dish detergent and spin it around on the blender, and you will clean the whole bin perfectly. That's pretty much it. I do want to say one more thing about this drink, as well as many other modern cleansing practices we engage in, and how they tie into yoga. In the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, and in some of the other texts that inspire modern yoga, there are practices called the Shat Karmas. And these are cleansing rituals. Some of them we even do today, like nasal washing with a neti pot. They're great. Now, some of them are a little bit out there, and many modern yogis are like, yeah, no thanks. But the principle behind them is very, very sound. The idea that for your mind to be clear and focused, to enter into that state of mindfulness and balance, that your body needs the support that it needs to live well and to carry you through your practice and through your life, that is very present in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika and in other texts. So this drink is very similar to some of the practices that are outlined in the Pradipika, just with a modern twist. Turns out ancient yogis didn't have blenders. In any event, I hope you enjoy this drink. I hope it really helps you to feel as great in your body as it did help me to feel great in mine. If you have ideas for future videos, be sure to drop them in the comments. And if you'd like to see more of my material, whether it's my books, video courses, some of them are even free. I have a free meditation course right now at my website. Go ahead over to darrenmain.com and check that stuff out.